Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US report. We'll be looking at the S&P and the NASDAQ, and with the S&P here, this is our standard count here in terms of wave 3 here and wave 4 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up for 5 here, and then completing here and moving down from that point. Now, one of the spanners in the works here is that I also think too that this wave 4 can be sitting here as an A and a B and a C here, and having this here as wave 1 here and wave 2 here, as you know, and then all of this here up for wave 3 here, then wave 4 here, then wave 5 here. Because on the NASDAQ too, you know, when we look at the NASDAQ, this little move in here counts as wave 1 as well. I'll just bring that up here because the NASDAQ's actually got a different count that can take it much higher. So from this scenario here of wave 3 here, as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave here for wave 4, I've counted this as wave 1 and 2 here. This is the same on the S&P 500, the same journey, but here we've got this as wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, then pulling back to the 50-60% retracement level, and then, you know, wasn't the best looking 5 waves, but we still had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then this here would march out as wave 1 and 2 in here, and I think we've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then 4 and 5 to come into this space, then 4 and then 5 up here. That would just make wave 3 here, so we'd still have wave 4 here and wave 5 to move up here further before we're finished here. So you know, this structure for the NASDAQ to me is just not is just not finished just yet. So yeah, a bit of a spanner in the works here. You know, when I look at say Amazon, for instance, because Amazon and Google are kind of, you know, a couple of the biggies there. Let me just find, okay, there's Amazon here. You know, I was looking at Amazon a bit like this here as wave 1 and 2 here, then 5 waves up for wave 1 and 2 here, and then wave 3. This wave 1 and wave 3 here basically have the same length here, and that's okay, because I know that normally wave 3 is the longest and the strongest, but when you're working with large numbers like 1,000 here, number 1 being the strongest number in the market, followed by 5, is that they tend to sort of, you know, really hold on to the market in psychological terms, which psychology to me is just the volume and the psychology around price, you know. So here it's going to be quite interesting. I've counted, if I can move that out of the way here, as an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here for this wave 4 here. So it's possible for this here to move up. We can see we've got 1 and 2 and 3 here. Let's just see if we get 4 and 5 into the 61.8% mark. Then there would be a pullback here as an ABC, and then the third wave would come into play here, normally coming quite close to the tops and then reacting here as a wave 4 and then a wave 5 up here. So if that's the case, this has got a long way to go here as well in this scenario. So that would be in line with I'm just going to save that, in line with the pretty much in line with the NASDAQ index itself, and also Google as well, or Alphabet rather. I haven't labeled this daily chart here, but it's pretty much the same here as well. You know, when we talk about the trading levels, we have, this is say the 1,000 here, we have the arrival, the reaction, and then the first high above the level. In this one will be in 5 waves here, and then, you know, then the corrective pattern would play out here. So this has got the arrival here, it's got the reaction, whichever way you look at it, this was the high here on Amazon, and it's the high here too. It's just that it's not a great high, but I need to take it as the high and the reaction. And then, you know, this is building to the upside here, so this should, you know, end up somewhere up into this space here. So I think these big stocks can, you know, move higher, which justifies the Nasdaq, you know, moving in its pathway up here. The other thing that I could be wrong with here is that this wave 4 could be over here, and we could have this here as the A wave here, a B wave up here, and a C wave to this point here as wave 4 here, and then we would still be just looking for 5 waves up here, okay, and then finishing here, you know, and basically moving down from here. So that's also a possibility as well that can't be ruled out. But, you know, even so, when I look at this structure here, this is a little bit hard to count here, but I can see that we've got you know, wave 1 and wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, the fourth wave here, and I can see 5 waves in here. So we've got a 5-wave structure to here, and then the corrective pattern here. This corrective pattern here too could be to wave 2 here as well. I haven't really investigated that, but it still leaves this you know, as wave 1 and 2 and 3 up to here, to the 1 here and the 4 and the 5. It still leaves this all unfinished here, whichever way we look at it. So how can this move all the way up here? And, you know, looking at the S&P to pretty much finish, you know, with one more little sort of push up into this space here, before rolling, you know, over down, you know, coming all the way back down here. So I think that, you know, we need to consider this a little bit more closely. But our main aim at the moment is really has been, you know, because this is like the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the corrective ABC pattern. So technically we should be long through here. So you know, looking at having a trailing stop into this space here would come under this low here now, but we can look at that a little bit more closely here, because this would be the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then a correction here as well. The other thing that's a little bit sort of haunting me in here as well is that we're calling this an extension in the 5th wave here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. But if the Nasdaq is going to climb higher, as it possibly, you know, as we just looked at it then, it's a possibility, and a pretty strong one at that. So really this 5th wave here that's got the extension in it, we would have to look at that as a 3rd wave in here. So this here is wave 1 and 2 here. This is wave 1 and 2 here, and also 1 and 2 in here with the extension, not extension, with a wave 3 in here. So there's a couple of possibilities here. So at the end of the day, what I normally do with all of this is that we would have to confirm like a bearish scenario of an impulse wave to the downside, and we certainly don't have that yet. You know, we'll keep, you know, any turn in the market, we will look at it, you know, being corrective or impulsive. So I'll just go to the hourly chart here. And our main aim here from this wave 4 here was that just to count the move to the upside here as wave 1 and 2 here. And then I was looking at all of this as wave 3 here and wave 4. And then we were looking, last time we spoke, we were looking for 5 waves up from this low here as wave 1 and 2 here, all the way up for 3 here, wave 4, and then wave 5 moving up here. Yeah, and then have, you know, at number 5 here, the 2550, well, it's really the midpoint here, that's important here in terms of the trading levels. So we expect a correction here. So, you know, you either take your profit here or I think we had the trading stop down here. So you can bring that up to this point now. And looking to get up here a little bit higher. But as I just mentioned, once let's just say that this pushes up here, okay, and gets up into here somewhere. So then we can expect a corrective pattern to come down to this space here. As a sort of starting point. Technically it can come down to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree as well, but we don't want to be all that way down here. But our job really here will be to work out if the move down here is an impulsive wave here, or whatever happens here, a corrective wave. So as soon as we can recognize it's either a corrective wave, then we know that it'll be going higher, and if it's a larger impulse wave down to this point here, then it'll be an ABC pattern here, and then it'll come down further from that point. But we can catch it here because we know we've got 5 waves here. So this will be the evidence. This will be part of the setup here. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if this first leg here is 5 waves, then you can do the same thing here as well. You can short this one through here, but it might just get to here as an A and a B and a C and move up from that point there. So the stop needs to go above here, so a small loss in there, that's the risk that you would take. You wouldn't get to break even. In this scenario here, you would get to break into this larger one here, you would get to break even. So look, I just think we just need to bear in mind that the counts we have, and at the end of the day we need to trade what we see. So in this particular trade here, it's coming to an end. You may have gotten out, I mean, if it was me, I would have been out on the Friday at this point here, not holding over the weekend, because the weekend's a long time. There's a lot of things that happen in the world now. Yeah, but even so, if you are long, then I'll certainly lock things in here at this particular point here. But let's just see, what we get in this space here as a corrective pattern. Okay, so on the count coming up here, just on the tick chart here, in the first instance, we're looking at this in 2 ways here, as 5 of 5 of 5 of 5 of 5 of 3, or it's quite possible that this blue wave minute degree 5 here can be a wave 3 here, and at the end of the day we'd want to see, as I mentioned, what happens over here. In terms of the count, we've got a pretty clear count of wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. The wave 4 here is a little bit small for me, but kind of got to go with it. And then we're looking for wave 1, don't need that there anymore, wave 2 here, wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and then looking for wave 5 up here. If that's the case here, then this will be wave 1 and back for wave 2, up for wave 3, meeting these highs here or somewhere into that space, then 4 and 5 here, and that'll be the end of it at that point there. So the other thing too is that, let's just imagine for a moment, this is the arrival here, the reaction here, and then we're looking for a little 5 waves up here. So once that high comes in here and then folds back into here, then draw a line through here, because if the market goes up from that point there, you need to be long at that point, because you need to trade what you see at that point. Yeah, so if this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, makes that high here, then that becomes your reference point. This one here becomes your reference point, because if it bounces back onto here for whatever reason, then moves up, you need to be on that market. You need to be on that trend. So that's your reference point there. All right, I'll just shooting the breeze here because it's Monday, and like I said, our main thing for this week will be looking at what, once this is finished here, what occurs here. Do we, we'll just go into monitoring mode and observation, and we'll work out if we've got what we've actually got here, and taking on board what we went through with the Nasdaq and Google and Amazon there as well. We'll be working with those guys, because the Amazoners and the Google's ones that led us higher, and the banks have led us higher on the S&P here. So that's where they are. All right, cheers.